Hey, what's up? Kris Krohn here. I am in Brazil and I'm in this mine and I'm looking for collectibles. I'm looking for things to buy that are gonna skyrocket in value. So I decided to make you a video on the top 5 collectibles that go up the most in value. Because you know what? Sometimes I'm buying real estate, sometimes I'm buying businesses, and sometimes I like to store my cash in things that I can buy at huge discounts that are going up in value. And I'm gonna share the top 5 of them with you right now.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
All right, check it out. So I'm here in Brazil, and my wife and I are treasure hunting for some crazy collectibles. Now, there's a specific type of collectible that I'm going after, but today's video is really about collectibles in general and the top 5 collectibles that people tend to buy. Now, I need to be clear about a couple of things. Why are these collectibles more popular when it seems like inflation is really high? Well, that's because your money, your dollar is losing value right now. And there are 2 types of assets. There are hard assets and there are soft assets. Let me explain. Hard assets are non-perishable and possess intrinsic value. Unlike soft assets or non-physical assets, hard assets provide security in times of uncertainty or market instability and certainly volatility. Types of hard assets include real estate, precious metals, art, collectibles. You could even say comic books like I collected when I was a kid. But I want to make sure you understand this. So a soft asset is like I own cryptocurrency. It's not a hard thing that you can touch. I own S&P 500, an index fund. I've got money sitting in the stock market. That's not a hard thing that you can touch. It's soft. And so what happens is when the stock market crashes, those soft assets crash. When the real estate even market crashes, that can even affect soft assets. But a hard asset is a physical thing that you can touch. And it tends to go up in value a lot more when inflation is high. And since inflation might be here to stay for a number of years, right now, there's a lot of people that want to know, Kris, what are the top 5 hard assets that I should be investing in? Let me show you. All right, the first kind of collectible that we're going to be talking about are coins. Now, these are Rias here from Brazil. They don't have worth, but back home in my safe, I do have some coins that are worth quite a bit of money, and they're like 2,000 years old. And so the first thing we're going to talk about that people collect are coins. Coins derive their value from 2 principal sources. The first is the physical metal contained in the coin, and the second is its collector value, which is harder to determine. For example, the fewer number of coins that are minted, the higher the collector value is. I knew someone once that said, wow, there's actual real nickel in the old nickels, and they literally went to Fort Knox, if you will, and they bought millions of dollars worth of real nickel. Guess what? It's worth 5 times more than actually the 5-cent value. So that's that intrinsic value. Now, most people don't play the game that way. They say, what is a rare coin? And if you own it and they become rare with time because they get lost or whatever, and people want them, it goes up in value. So coins, that's the first collectible we're talking about today. Okay, the second collectible that we're talking about today is why I am in southern Brazil, deep in this mine, and I can smell it in the air. Literally some dynamite just went off. We are blasting today, and what we're blasting for is semi-precious crystals, specifically amethyst. And so the second collectible that I'm going to be talking about is amethyst, and afterwards I'm actually going to take you to a place where they haul it out, where they actually process it so they can ship it all over the world for people to collect. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? That is so epic. Everything is shaking right now. And my heart is pumping really fast. Hey, check it out. We just found this bad boy, drilled a hole in, and have verified there is some luscious amethyst in there. So now we're gonna work on getting the rest of it out. Let's go. All right, the second collectible that we're talking about today is gemstones. Check it out. We've just come out of the mine, and this is where they stockpile them and what they look like once they pull them out. And what they've got to do essentially is see what's inside They use this big, huge saw to basically cut them open. Then what they've got to do is they've got to give them a new base on the bottom. Then they've got to reinforce them so that they don't break. So they're adding concrete to the backside of them. They basically paint them black, and then when they're all done, this is what they look like when they're ready to ship. This is what's come out of the mine. Now, specifically, this is amethyst, but there are over 200 different types of precious stones that people collect that over time go up in value. By the way, check out some of the cast-offs. These are some of the leftovers that they basically can't use. And this is its own crazy little world. All right, now, what I actually came for all the way down to Brazil was to check out this $500,000 crystal. And we're gonna lay our eyes on it right now for the first time. Come on. I think it's right here. Check it out. This is premium Uruguayan amethyst. I'm positive that you can't possibly do justice on the rich, deep color, the nodules. 127 inches tall, 50 inches wide, 40 inches, 3.5 feet deep. And this acquisition is not for resale. But if I wanted to, could probably make my money back 3 or 4 times over. So this is actually a gift to my wife because on our remodel, I'm building her a Zen room, and it's 2 stories tall, and I thought I need to find a really nice, beautiful, big piece. This is a collectible, however. You wait a decade, this will be $1 million stone. And if anyone watches this video and says, I'm gonna steal that, good luck. It weighs 8,000 pounds. The third collectible, rare stamps. Rare stamps are among the super rich's most popular collectibles due to their rarity, ease of transport, and anonymity. I don't even know if I can say that word. The British Guiana 1 cent Magenta is regarded by many as the world's most famous rare stamp. With its US $9.4 million sale in June 2014, this item broke the record for the single stamp auction price each of the last 4 times it has been sold. Stamps. Like, I thought that was something for maybe like generations ago, but you know what? What do I know? Maybe that's why their value continues to go up. And hey, it's not some semi-precious stone that weighs like a ton. At the end of the day, it's something you could even put in your wallet. Stamps.
I'd like to see your most expensive stamp. Ah! One moment.
So speaking of fine minerals, my wife and I this year, seeing what's happening to inflation and crystals being a huge passion of hers, guess what we did? We bought a whole bunch of crystals, and more importantly, looked at the ones that are rare, the ones that actually go up higher in value, because the whole nature of a collectible is that the longer you hold it, the more it goes up in value, kind of like the 4th collectible we're going to talk about, which is classic and exotic cars. According to the Knight Frank Wealth Report, classic cars provided a 10-year return of 338%, the highest investment return of all collectibles. The most expensive car confirmed to be sold at an auction was a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO for $48.4 million. That sold back in 2018. Now, over 10 years, 338% is basically 33% a year. And think about that on some of these collectibles. Some collectibles are going to stagnate. Some might even go down in value, but the majority of them are going to increase. And you have to do your research and ask, well, which ones are going to increase the most? And can I start with a discount on some of them? And I don't really consider collectibles an active investment. It's not producing an active cash flow. It's just something that's designed to grow in the background with time. And, you know, based on that definition, this shouldn't be really the first thing that you invest in. You shouldn't go out and buy a really nice classic car. What you should be thinking is, I should be prioritizing active investments, something like real estate that produces a cash flow for me, or absentee owner status business that I don't have to give my time to, but gives me also a cash flow. Next, I'm going for investments that produce growth that go up in value. And then when you have when your wealth machine is kicking off a lot of extra cash, buy more active investments, buy more growth investments, But now you can get into more of this collectible game, because if you're growing your collectibles at 5, 10, 15, 20, or 33% a year, that's just, again, something happening in the background where your wealth continues to increase. The fifth and final collectible that we're going to be talking about today, timepieces. The value of a timepiece does not depend on age, but past owners, mechanical perfection, original artwork, and precious gems. One example is Eric Clapton's 1987 Patek Philippe, I think I said that wrong, auctioned for more than $3.6 million. Basically, because Eric Clapton owned the watch, it has increased the value because someone wanted to own something that a famous person actually owned before. So there you have it. These are 5 different things that you can collect. I look back to the fact that maybe when you were a kid, you collected some Pokemon. You may have collected, you know, some baseball cards. I collected comic books. A lot of those comic books have gone up crazy in value, and I still own them today. And at some point, maybe I'll cash in. You probably figured it out. Collectibles are not my first and foremost investment, but it is something valid, and it's something that usually people invest in once they have wealth. If you're trying to become wealthy, it's probably not the first and foremost play that you're going to be going for. If you want to know what the first plays really look like, I've created a book, and it really represents my financial life work. It's called Have It All, and I'd like to make a gift of it to you today. The book is free. It's beautiful. I had it print full color, put some amazing life force and energy, and worked on it for years. And what it does is it shares 5 things that you should be investing before collectibles that will allow you to become wealthy in a matter of years, not decades, and certainly not never, which is society's game plan. And if you want to pick up a copy of that, click the link below, grab your copy. I don't know, honestly, how many more I have in the basement because we're shipping them off like crazy every single day. And we live in the supply chain problem world where, you know, it takes like 9 months for me to reorder. And so sometimes we've got lapses. If you really want to get your hands on one, click the link, get it right now. Hey, thanks for joining me in Brazil, watching today's video. Check it out. The internet thinks that the next video of mine that's going to best financially serve you is the one right here. Make sure you're a subscriber, watch this video. Let's increase your financial genius.